Hello guys, how are you doing today? I'm Adrian and this is Grade Time 5, Unit 1, page 14. Okay, today we're gonna study some grammar by looking at some sentences taken from the text, okay? The text is on the previous page, Sacrifice for Survival. So the grammar that we have here today is gerunds and infinitives. Verbs followed by an infinitive or gerund, okay? When a sentence has a second verb, you have to decide what form the second verb takes, all right? Is it to do or doing, infinitive or gerund? For example, I feel like going to the movies, or I feel like to go to the movies. I expect to be back home by 7 p.m. or I expect being back home by 7 p.m. So what is the right choice here? Some verbs are usually followed by to do, by infinitive, and other verbs are followed by doing, gerund. And some verbs, they can be followed by both infinitive or gerund. Okay, this is what we're going to see here in this class. All right. Well, so let's take a look at activity number 1. Look at these sentences taken from the text that we read last class. Okay, let's read together. I'm going to enlarge it here. Yeah. So, Joe and Simon managed to climb, or climbing, the west face of Ciula Grande. Number 2, Simon tied the rope around Joe and started to lowering his injured friend. Number 3, Simon imagined both himself and his friend to die or dying in the snow and ice. Number 4, for a moment, Simon Yates felt like to give or felt like giving up. And number 5, but then he decided to cutting the rope and save his own life. Number 6, he continued to descending the mountain. What I want you to do now is to pause the video, go to the text, and decide if the verb is ing, gerund, or to, infinitive. In this exercise, 2 sentences in which both are possible. Okay, there are 2 sentences in which both are possible. So now pause the video and I'll see you in a minute. Okay, did you have time to do it? So according to the text, we have number 1 like this. Joe and Simon managed to climb the west face of Ciula Grande. So this verb managed is followed by infinitive, to climb. Number 2, Simon tied the rope around Joe and started to lower or lowering. In this case, both are correct. So the verb to start accepts both, either infinitive or gerund. Number 3, Simon imagined both himself and his friend dying in the snow and ice. In this case, he imagined something that happened back in the past. So he imagined dying, the gerund. For a moment, Simon Yates felt like, which one? To give, given, or both are correct. In this case is given. Okay, so the verb feel like is followed by the gerund. Okay. Number 5, but then he decided to cutting, or both correct. To cut. So the verb decide is followed by an infinitive. He decided to cut the rope and save his own life. And finally, he continued to descending, or both. In this case, both are correct. So he continued descending, or to descend the mountain. Let's check. Okay, all of them are correct. Well done. Okay, so what is the rule, teacher Adriana? What is the rule here? So we don't have like a specific rule. There are no specific rules here to decide which verb is followed by gerund or infinitive. Okay, so we have to learn each verb individually. Okay, let's take a look at this rule that we have here. So we have this box. Let me enlarge it. I have a box here. So we have some verbs, and the rule is some verbs are followed by the gerund, and some verbs are followed by the infinitive, and others are followed by both, either the gerund or the infinitive. What about the first list here? Imagine, feel like, suggest, practice, miss, can't stand, enjoy, detest, which is hate, and don't mind is followed by what? Here is by gerund. Okay, we follow these verbs with the gerund. Alright, ing. The next verbs: manage, want, decide, refuse, hope, promise, ask, learn, expect, afford, offer, and choose are followed by to, infinitive. Okay, so whenever there is a verb after those verbs, this verb must be in the infinitive with to. And finally we have the verb begin, start, and continue. They can be followed with gerund or infinitive, okay, with no difference in meaning. So here it doesn't matter, and there is no difference in meaning. Alright, let's take a look at this grammar explanation here. Okay, so the same thing that I told you, just told you here. So when a verb is followed by another verb, the second verb is either in the gerund or it is an infinitive with to. These verbs in list number 2 are followed by a gerund. Look, the ones that I have just mentioned. Imagine, feel like, suggest, practice, miss, can stand, enjoy, detest, and don't mind. Look at the example. I enjoy cooking. So here I cannot say I enjoy to cook. The correct is I enjoy cooking. So I enjoy cooking. But I can't stand washing the dishes. So I can't say I can't stand to wash the dishes. I have to say I can't stand washing the dishes. In number 3, the verbs are followed by an infinitive with to. For example, decide, refuse, hope, promise, ask, expect, afford, offer, and choose. Example, I can't afford to buy a new smartphone. So I don't have the money to. Another one, for example, I promise to pay you back when I can. So promise to. I expect to be home by 7 o'clock. Expect to. I would like to offer you, or I would like to offer to pay your dinner tonight. So offer to. And finally, and finally, in number 4, these verbs can be followed by either form with no difference in meaning. Which are the verbs? Begin, start, and continue. Okay, so we started walking, or we started to walk toward the town. So both are possible. It continued raining, or it continued to rain until late afternoon. So both forms are possible. Now I would like you to take a few minutes to look at this, pause the video and look at this grammar explanation, okay? Okay, did you study the verbs carefully? Okay, so I think now you're ready to do some practice, to do some exercises about it. So take a look at exercise number 2. Use the verbs in the list to complete the sentences. Use the gerund or infinitive. So you have several verbs: read, help, climb, be, go, walk, get, buy, and show. And if you take a look at the sentences, you have like number 1, feel like, number 2, suggest, number 3, ask, number 4, enjoy, number 5, can't stand, Number 6, want and can't or couldn't afford. Number 7, don't mind. And number 8, imagine. So now pause the video, take a look at the rule in that table, the table that shows the rules, and try to do this activity, okay? And then when we come back, I'm going to correct with you. Okay, so did you have time to do it? Was it difficult, easy? Let's try to do together now. So the first one is, the weather was great on Sunday, but I didn't feel like a mountain. So here the best verb is climb a mountain. But the thing is climbing a mountain or to climb a mountain? So if you have the verb feel like, oh, I didn't feel like, I was not in the mood. So I didn't feel like climbing a mountain. Okay, so here is gerund, ing. Number 2, I called my friend and he suggested. So the word suggest, the verb suggest, according to the rule, is followed by what? Suggested. What's the verb here? The verb is go, yeah? But is suggested going on a bike ride or to go? Here is going, because after the verb suggest is ing, gerund. Number 3, nobody asked us our tickets as we entered the theater. Well, this is to show. The verb is to show. Ask to do something or ask doing something. According to the rule, nobody asked us to show our tickets as we entered the theater. This is an infinitive after the verb ask. Number 4, I gave Sarah a copy of Joe Simpson's book, Touching the Void. She says she's really enjoying. After the verb enjoy is gerund or infinitive? It's gerund. So enjoy is she's really enjoying reading it. Okay? Number 5, can I borrow your umbrella? I can't stand around in the rain. Well, after the can't stand, I detest, I hate. It's ing, the gerund. So I can't stand walking around in the rain. Let's go to number 6. I wanted new skis, but I couldn't afford. So I wanted to get, in this case, or getting. After the verb want is the infinitive. So I wanted to get, to buy new skis, but I couldn't afford what? I couldn't afford. After afford is also the infinitive. To buy them. I couldn't afford to buy them. Number 7, I don't mind my brother with his homework. I don't mind. The verb is help. But is it helping or to help? After I don't mind is helping, ing, gerund. So I don't mind helping my brother with his homework. And finally, can you imagine caught in a snowstorm for hours? Here is imagine is gerund. Yes, I'm sure that you said this. So can you imagine being caught or getting caught or being caught in a snowstorm for hours? Let's check. Okay, well done. So here you have to be very careful. Which verbs are followed by ing, gerund, and which verbs are followed by to? You have to memorize them, okay guys? Alright? Okay, now let's close this. And let's try to do some other activities that we have here in this PowerPoint here. Number 1, look at the underlined verbs and write I for infinitive, or G for gerund. So the first one is, I managed to climb the mountain. So to climb is an infinitive because there is to. Number 2, he continued climbing in the snow. Is this gerund or infinitive? Yeah, it's gerund. So letter G. Number 3, she decided to take a rest. Decided to take a rest. This is I for infinitive or G for gerund? Yes, it is infinitive. Number 4, we can't stand exercising. We hate, we can't stand exercising. This is gerund, letter G. Number 5, he doesn't mind walking in the rain. So doesn't mind walking, gerund, letter G. I can't afford to go on holiday this year because I don't have money. So I can't afford to. So this is infinitive. Number 7, they refused to do the climb. So here is I, infinitive. She practices skiing every weekend in winter. Practices skiing, ing. So this is gerund. Oh wow, is this hard? Is it difficult? Oh, okay, I think you're getting it, aren't you? Well, the next activity, you have to write the verbs that take the infinitive or the gerund in exercise 1 and add 2 more verbs to each column. So which verbs they take the infinitive from this list here? Okay, and which verbs take the gerund from this list? So get a piece of paper now and make like 2 columns, one like this, one infinitive and one is the gerund. And now pause the video, freeze this scene here, freeze this screen, and classify the verbs into infinitive and gerund. Okay? I'll be waiting for you. Okay, so how was it? So which ones are followed by the infinitive and which ones are followed by gerund? Just come here, let's go back here. So to climb by infinitive, not to climb, manage by infinitive, continued by gerund, decide infinitive, can't stand gerund, doesn't mind gerund, can't afford infinitive, refuse infinitive, and practice is gerund. Very, very good. So just complete here. And finally, we have this activity here. Choose the correct option. Here we have some more verbs, the ones that we don't have in that list, but they're also followed by either the infinitive or by gerund. For example, the first one is finish. Finish is followed by gerund. As in example number 1, I finished reading a great book yesterday. So the correct is to say I finished reading. Number 2, she hopes. Let's see if the hope is there. Yes, hope is in our rule box, and it's followed by infinitive. She hopes to go to Australia one day. Number 3, we should avoid. Avoid is not in our list, but avoid is followed by gerund. We should avoid climbing the mountain in bad weather. So avoid climbing. What about the next ones? They're planning, reaching or to reach. He agreed, helping or to help. We feel like going or to go. I can't stand sleeping or to sleep. And they hoped being or to be home by now. So pause the video now and try to do these activities, okay? Okay, so what about it? So that's correct. Number 4, they're planning to reach the peak tomorrow. So plan to do something. This is followed by an infinitive. Number 5, he agreed to help with the expedition. Agree is also a verb followed by infinitive with to. Number 6, you know already, right? We feel like going on an adventure. So feel like is always followed by gerund. I can't stand, this is easy, so I can't stand sleeping in a tent. So ing gerund. And they hoped to be home by now. So hope to, followed by an infinitive. Alright? Really, really good. Now, that's the end of the grammar part for this class. And we're going to move on to the vocabulary. And you're going to work with some verbs of movement. Okay? So let's take a look at some verbs of movement that we have here. We have the verb climb. Yes, so this girl is climbing a mountain. It's to go up. Okay. We have the verb crawl, which is to be on the floor with your hands and knees on the floor like the babies do. They crawl. We have this hop, is to jump with your, usually to jump on one foot only. So like this lady, she's hopping. And we have the verb to descend, like this person here is descending the stairs, going down the stairs. Okay, descend or go down. All right. Here we have an activity in your book, verbs of movement. So the verbs crawl, climb, hopping, and descend. The ones that we have just seen, okay? And how can we complete the sentences here? Okay, they managed to the west face of Ciula Grande. Number 2, they knew they needed to quickly to the glacier. For the next 3.5 days, he continued to descend the mountain, ta-ta-ta and ta-ta-ta, on one leg. What do you think? According to the text on page 13. So pause the video now and try to do it. Okay, are you back? So let's take a look here. Here we have this activity here. Okay, so they managed to what? To climb. Yeah, difficult to do it. Yes, to climb the west face of Ciula Grande. They knew they needed to descend quickly to the glacier. For the next 3.5 days, he continued to descend the mountain, crawling and hopping in one leg. Okay, well done, well done. Now it's your turn. We have lots of other verbs here. Let's take a look at them. Yes. We have climb number 1, hop number 2, stagger number 3, leap number 4, rush, crawl, wander, tiptoe, swing, and descend. And here we have the definition of those verbs, of those actions. So do you know what they are? Let's see the number 1, for example, climb. Climb, you know that this girl here, for example, she's climbing. Okay, this is climb, is to go up. Here is crawl, here is hop, and here is descend. So if you come here, you can say that climb is, let's see if we can find, go up or go toward the top of something. Is that okay? Number 1 goes here in letter F. Alright? If you put like hop, is the first one, jump on one foot. So here, letter A is number 2. If you do like, for example, crawl. Number 6 is what is crawl? To move slowly on hands and knees like the babies do. Alright, so this I is number 6. Let's do the rest. But first of all, let me show you the words just to help you, okay? So here we have stagger, which is to walk or move with difficulty, as if you're going to fall. So this guy is almost staggering, you know, walking with difficulty. Maybe, I don't know, he bumped his head, or he's drunk, or I don't know what. And the next one, leap. So to leap is to make a jump or a sudden movement, usually from one place to another. Look at that picture. The guy is leaping. Okay, he leaped. Next one is rush. To cause or go or to do something very quickly. So he's rushing to go to work, or he's rushing to catch the train or the bus. Okay, what about this one? Wander. To walk around slowly in a relaxed way or without any clear purpose or direction. So it's just, you know, wandering in the middle of the road, in the middle of nowhere. Okay, this guy there in the picture. Look at the example. We spend the morning wandering around the old part of the city. Next one, tiptoe. To walk on your toes with the heel of your foot lifted off the ground, especially in order not to make a noise. Look at that guy, he's tiptoeing because he doesn't want to make a noise. So he waited until his daughter was asleep, then tiptoed quietly out of the room. So very, very quietly. Next one, swing. To move easily and without interruption backward, backward and forward. Backward and forward, from one side to the other, especially from a fixed point, or to cause something or someone to do this. Look at this girl. She's swinging backward and forward. Okay? Alright? So, now that you know the words, I would like you to go to this exercise and match the words with the definitions. Okay, I'll give you some minutes. See you in a minute. Okay, are you ready for us to correct? Okay, so climb. What's climb? Let's try to find here. Climb, as we said before, is to go up or go toward the top of something. This is to climb. What is to crawl? We have seen it. To crawl is to move slowly on hands and knees like the babies do. What about number 3? Hop. Hop, as we saw the lady doing, is jump on one foot. What about wander? To walk around without any clear purpose or direction. It was wandering in the city or in the streets. What about stagger? Okay, stagger is walk or move with difficulty as if you are going to fall. So this is to stagger. Okay, like walk or move with difficulty. Especially when people are not feeling well or drunk or whatever. Tiptoe. Tiptoe is, let's see, to cause, to go or do something very quickly. No, that's not tiptoe. Walk on your toes, especially in order not to make noise. So this is to tiptoe. Okay. What about leap? Leap is, let me see, to walk. Rush. Let's go to rush. Rush, I found it. Rush number 9 is to cause or to go something, to go or do something very quickly. Okay. What about swing? Let me see what else we have here. This one is done. Move easily and without stopping in the air, backward and forward and from one side to the other. This is to swing. Okay. Let's go here. Swing. go or come down. This is descend. Go or come down. And there's just one, which is leap. Make a large jump from one place to another. Let's check. Okay, well done. All of them are correct. Okay. Now, finally, for us to finish, to wrap up this class, I would like you to do exercise number 3. Complete the sentences with the correct forms of the verbs from exercise 2. So I'll give you some minutes for you to do it. Okay? I'll see you in a minute. So, we're back. Did you find it difficult? Okay, so let's try it together now. The verbs are climb, crawl, hop, wander, stagger, tiptoe, leap, swing, rush, and descend. First one, number 1. They slowly started into the deep valley. So this is descend, go down into the deep valley. We spend time around the beach looking for shells. So we spend time wandering, walking around the beach looking for the shells. I decided to from the rope into the river. So I decided to swing, move back and forward in the air from the rope and fall into the river. Number 4, the plane to an altitude of 10,000 meters. The plane, climbed. Okay, so climbed to an altitude, go up towards the top, to an altitude of 10,000 meters. The baby was sleeping, so they moved very quietly on their toes. They tiptoed. Yes, moved very quietly on their toes. Number 6. The boxer managed to stagger to her corner despite being hurt, to walk with difficulty. Okay. Number 7. Some rabbits jumped in one foot, hopped to the park this morning. When he heard that Joe was back, what did he do? He rushed over to see her immediately, very fast, because he was very anxious to see Joe. Our dog, what happened to our dog? Crawled through the hole under the fence and ran away. Okay, crawled. And finally, when they saw the rat, they jumped from one place to the other. They leaped onto the table. Okay, let's check. All right, well done. Well, I think we've had a lot today. I hope you had a very good class. This class that was about grammar and vocabulary. And we're going to still have a part 3 of this unit, unit 1, where I'm going to deal with other verbs which are followed by infinitive and gerunds, okay? So see you next class, and stay well, stay home, and stay safe. Bye-bye.